नमस्ते प्रणाम गीता ध्यान। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva sutam devam kansa chanura mardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. So, Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga, the 9th Adhyaya of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and Sri Krishna is telling us that the Mahatmans, the yogis, the jnanis, the bhaktas, whichever way they worship me is acceptable to me. They worship me in various ways. Sri Krishna said that they may worship me as the devotee being one with me. The devotee may worship me as I am distinct from the devotee. Or the devotee may worship me as I am the face of all creation. All the beings in this world, in this creation, I am their face. I am dwelling in them. And with that understanding, the devotee may worship. So Sri Krishna says, doesn't matter. All these worships, they come to me only. Whichever form they are worshipping. And Sri Krishna, in the previous shloka that we read, he said, Jnana yajñena chapyanye yajanto mam upasate. Whether he is worshipping me as with the attitude of that knowledge worship, knowledge sacrifice, or any other sacrifice, or in any other form, whether it is jnana yajna or any other yajna, any other offering, or whether he is worshipping me as ekatvena, as the understanding of the devotee being one with the Lord, or pruthatvena, that I am distinct from the devotee, whether he worships me in that fashion, or he worships me as Bahuda Vishvato Mukham, as the one indweller of all the beings. All beings are part and parcel of that great divine entity. The devotee considers himself or herself to be a part and parcel of the great Lord. Maybe a finger of the Lord, hand of the Lord, mouth of the Lord, ear of the Lord, eye of the Lord, nose of the Lord, but very much a part and parcel of the Lord. And to this teaching of Sri Krishna, what Sri Ramakrishna taught us at the end of that shloka, he said, whether you believe in form, God with form or God without form, whether you worship God with form or you are inclined to worship God without form, doesn't matter to God at all. God accepts all the worships, whether you worship Him with form or you worship Him as the formless entity. But Sri Ramakrishna advised us that whichever form you worship the Lord, whichever form suits to you, never have that deceitful attitude that only my path is right. If I worship God with form, that means people who are worshipping the formless God are wrong, don't have that understanding at all. They are right in their perspective because the Lord Himself has said They can worship me in so many various ways. Ekatvena, Pruthatvena, or Vishvato Mukham. Lord Himself has clearly told us, worship me the way you want. All the worships, they reach me. Now, on what basis Sri Krishna so confidently tells us? That answer he is going to give us in the next 16th chapter, that how can all these different diverse ways of worshipping, the conflicting forms of worship, they reach the same divine entity. That Sri Krishna is going to explain to us in this 16th shloka. Aham kratur aham yajñaḥ svadhāham aham auṣhadham mantro aham evājyam aham agnir aham hutam. Sri Krishna says, whenever you undertake any worship, any sacrifice, whether it is jnana yajna or any other yajna, whether you worship me as you being one with me, whether you worship me as a distinct from me, or whether you worship me as the one indweller of all the being, Vishvato Mukham, everything comes to me. And Sri Krishna says that, why this is so? Aham Kratu. Kratu is the Vedic rite, actually, the ritual as such, that act of performing sacrifice. That is Kratu. So Sri Krishna says, I am that Kratu, I am that act, I am that Vedic rite. And aham yajñaḥ, that actual act of sacrifice also I am. Whenever we sacrifice anything, now sacrifice again, I always infer this word sacrifice as not just that ritualistic sacrifice, whether people used to sacrifice any animal, or goat or buffalo or horse, not just that sacrifice. Giving up anything is a sacrifice. Giving up anything, giving up our ego, giving up our bad tendencies, giving up our attachment to the fruits of action that we are doing. Not only that, even giving up the attachments and giving up the desires, that also is an act of sacrifice. So Sri Krishna says, even that sacrifice I am. And when it comes to actually the ritualistic sacrifice, now he says, svadhāham. Now whenever such sacrificial acts are undertaken, the ritualistic sacrifices, there is a process where we offer something in the memory of our mains, our ancestors, our forefathers. That is called as Swadha. As during the sacrificial act, the gods and goddesses, the deities they are worshipped, they are pacified, and something is offered to them to satisfy them. There is also the process involves offering something to our mains, to our forefathers, to our ancestors, to our gone by generations, because of whom we are existing today. So that Swadha, that is called as Swadha, that offering to the mains. Sri Krishna says, even that Swadha I am. And aham auṣhadham, whatever medicinal plants are offered in the sacrifice, that also I am. And not only that, mantro aham, mantraha aham. He says, whatever the mantras are recited at the time of performing these sacrifices, something swaha, 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 that mantra also I am. Even if it is not actually the ritualistic sacrifice, even an utterance of mantra, I am that mantra, Sri Krishna said. Mantraha aham. Aham evājyam. I alone am that clarified butter, that ghee that is offered to the home. I am that ghee. I am that clarified butter. And aham agnihi, aham hutam. Not only that, even the fire to which all these oblations are given, that fire I am. And the hutam, whatever is oblation, whatever is given in that fire as sacrifice, I am that. So Sri Krishna says, whichever way people worship, whichever way people undertake these sacrifices, everything comes to me because I have filled everything. This entire universe is filled with me in that act of sacrifice that is being done. I am the one which is sacrificed. I am the fire that is to which the things are sacrificed. I am the Swadha, that which is offered to the forefathers at the time of ritualistic worships. So nothing is without me. Sri Krishna clearly tells us. Kratu is a Vedic ritual, while Yajna denotes the Vedic and post-Vedic forms of sacrificial worship. Whenever we offer something is Yajna, and the actual thing doing is Kratu. So Krishna says, I am that Kratu, I am that Yajna also, I am that sacrifice also. I am Swadha. The offerings made to the mains is Swadha. So Shri Krishna says, even that I am. The food that is medicinal and at the same time nourishing is called auṣhadhi. The auṣhadhi, the herbal nourishment. Shri Krishna says, I am that. What you are getting, the nourishment in the form of all the herbs and spices, I am that. And the formative thought behind chanted hymn is mantra, and that all powerful mantra. There are so many powerful mantras for the overall well-being of the universe, of the devotees. Sri Krishna says, I am that mantra. I am there in each and every syllable of that mantra. Now this stanza, and I am the fire and I am the oblation. Whatever you are offering to the fire also I am. So there is nothing in this act of sacrifice that is devoid of me. So with whichever form of thought, whichever attitude you are making that offering, it comes to me only. See that wonderful teaching of Sri Krishna. Now, this stanza, this particular verse, that ahaṁ kratur aham yajñaḥ svadhāham aham auṣhadham mantro aham evājyam aham agnir aham hutam. This verse is very, very similar. It supplements the same idea that Sri Krishna gave us in that 24th verse of the 4th chapter. The 24th verse of the 4th chapter that we had read at the time of karma sannyasa yoga. That brahmarpanau brahmahavir brahmagnau brahmanau hutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. Brahmarpanam, everything that is offered is, the process is Brahman. Brahma havihi. Havihi again is ghee. So the havi that is given in the sacrificial fire, the offered in the sacrificial fire, is also Brahma. Brahmagnau, the Agni, the fire also is Brahman. And Brahmana hutam, whatever is offered, is also Brahman. Exactly the same idea that Sri Krishna has given here, that I am everything. Then Brahmaiva tena gantavyam. The whole thing, it leads to Brahma only. And Brahma karma samadhina. By seeing Brahman in action, he reaches Brahman alone. So that is what Sri Krishna is once again telling us in this particular shloka. And therefore, in our Ramakrishna order, whenever we start our food, before starting our food, we chant this mantra, that Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir Brahmagnau Brahmana hutam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahma karma samadhina. Whatever we are offering to this body in the form of that nourishing food as a sacrifice, which is going to the Jatharagni, which is being offered to the fire in our digestive system, everything is filled with Brahman. We are offering the Brahman to the Brahman by the process of the Brahman, which will give us the effect of the Brahman. So that is what Sri Krishna has once again taught us after that Karma Sannyasa Yoga 24th verse. Again now in this 16th verse of the Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. A little bit, almost the same meaning. The words instead of Brahma, he has used the word aham. And that again denotes the oneness of Krishna with Brahman. So that is what this 16th shloka has been that we have read today, and this is how Sri Krishna is slowly, revealing the true nature of his. That now we know that yes, Krishna and Brahman, what Krishna says aham and what Krishna says Brahman is one and the same thing. Maybe this time this Brahman is in the form of Krishna, in the human form of Krishna. That beautiful, blue-colored, blue complexion, those curly hair, that the peacock feather in his hair, and all those lovely, glittering ornaments, and that flute in his hand. So that is the human form he has taken. The Brahman has taken for the benefit of the devotees. But in reality, the Krishna and the Brahman, they are one and the same thing. So that was our 16th shloka of the Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga of the 9th adhyaya of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ram Krishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami Ji.